Hello friends, my name is Masood. Today we shall discuss our topic the cryptocurrency and blockchain concept in e-commerce. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in e-commerce and cryptocurrency, you want to learn about it. So let's start. First of all, I request please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, first of all, basically there are two main concepts, cryptocurrency and blockchain. So one by one we shall discuss in more detail about their role in e-commerce nowadays. First is the cryptocurrency. So what is actually a cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is basically a digital format or a virtual format of a currency. Like we all are using physical currency, like we are using physical currency notes. However, nowadays a concept of cryptocurrency is there, in which basically it's a form of digital currency to which we can use on computer to transfer the money and perform the transaction. The basic of this type of technology, this type of currency, is the cryptography for security purpose. It is totally a decentralized concept, in which there is no central body like any authorized body which enforce the transaction authenticity. Like every country has the concept of a government body which basically authenticate, which basically enforce that the transaction should be secure, should be properly performed. However, there is no concept of the government body in the cryptocurrency. There is basically a concept of distributed ledger which is enforced by a network of computers which are interconnected, which through which each other, that is called as nodes actually. Now if we talk about in more detail about the characteristics of the cryptocurrency, first one is the decentralized. Decentralization means that there is no government body or financial institution involved in the cryptocurrencies. However, they completely rely on the network computers to validate and record transactions. So that means the different computers from different countries, different locations are interconnected with each other, through which the transactions are performed. Then if we talk about security, that if there is no financial institution like any bank or government body is not involved, then what is the criteria of the security here? Cryptocurrency is basically based on the cryptography for the security purpose. Cryptography ensures the security of transactions and the creation of new units. Public and private keys are used for secure transactions. So that means that doesn't mean that there is no security. The security is based on the cryptography concept. Then anonymity means that normally we perform any transaction, so there is a trace of a transaction, that who was the sender, who was the receiver. However, in these types of transactions like the cryptocurrency transactions, there is no uh, these are not directly tied to personal information. Okay, so it is difficult to find that who was the sender, who was the receiver, but there is some information, but not so much information as compared to actual not compared to these types of transaction which perform normally we through the bank actually. Okay, so personal information lacking is there in the cryptocurrency. The popular cryptocurrencies nowadays available like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, and so many others are nowadays available. The most popular one is the Bitcoin and the Ethereum as well. Uh, Now we talk about the concept of blockchain. Blockchain is basically a distributed ledger that records transactions across multiple computers in a secure and a transparent way. So basically, multiple computers are interconnected with each other through the network, that is called as the concept of blockchain. Each block in the chain, which is basically called as a network, contains a list of transactions, and every new block is linked to the previous one through a cryptographic hash. So it's completely a software based or network based concept through which this currency is working. The key characteristics of this currency, this concept blockchain, is first one is the decentralization. Decentralization means that there is again there is no concept of centralization or any central body to govern. blockchain is maintained by a network of nodes which are interconnected with each other, and there is no need for any central body or any government body. Okay. Then immutability. Immutability means that once a block is added to the blockchain, it's very difficult to alter that block. This ensures the integrity of the transaction history. If it is added, so it is added, and the trace of the transaction history is available. Then transparency is there. That means if that all participants in the network which are interlinked with each other have access to the same information, and that means everyone has a confidence that there is a transparency, there is a trust in the uh, in the uh, in the transactions. Now we have already discussed about the concept of cryptocurrency and the blockchain. Now we can talk about the role of the cryptocurrency in the e-commerce. First one is the secure transactions. Blockchain and cryptocurrency ensures that whatever the transactions are performed in on the e-commerce platforms, it should be tamper-proof transactions, and there is a very less risk of a fraud on the e-commerce. Then there is a concept of smart contracts. That means these are self-executing contracts with the term of the agreement directly written into the code. They automate and enforce the terms of contract, streamlining e-commerce processes. Then is supply chain transparency. Blockchain can be used to track the provenance of products, ensuring authenticity and transparency in the supply chain. Supply chain means that you have you have a stock in the in you have a stock of a product, then you are sending to the customer, then it is delivering at their home. So it is completely called as the concept of a supply chain. Then a reduced transaction cost. Cryptocurrencies can reduce transaction cost, especially in international transactions, by eliminating the need for intermediaries like banks. Why? Because see, the reason is that when we are performing international transactions, the international banks are involving generally in general transactions. So what happened? The cost of transactions is very high. For example, if you are sending a money from for example from Pakistan or India to USA, so normally these sorts of transactions are very expensive. Expensive means that there is a fee involved because international banks are involved. However, when we talk about cryptocurrency and blockchain, these sorts of transactions are less expensive because there is no concept of intermediary bank between those transactions. That is why these transactions are less expensive. Now we talk about integration of the cryptocurrency and blockchain in e-commerce. First one is the payment systems. Cryptocurrencies can be used for online transactions in e-commerce, providing an alternative way to traditional payment methods. Like rather than paying for example, through credit card or debit card, you can use the cryptocurrency like Bitcoin for the payment of if you are purchasing any goods from the e-commerce. Some e-commerce platforms nowadays accepting the cryptocurrencies as a form of a payment. Smart contracts are there. That means that e-commerce platforms can utilize smart contracts to automate and enforce contract terms such as payment release upon delivery confirmation. Other things are like supply chain management is there. That means blockchain can be employed to track and verify the authenticity of the products, helping combat counterfeiting and ensuring transparency in the supply chain. That means if you are using a blockchain or cryptocurrency, that doesn't mean that there could be any problem in the supply chain of the goods. Also, it reduces the frauds. That means secure and transparent nature of blockchain can help reducing the fraudulent activities, enhancing the overall security of e-commerce transactions. Again, there is a concept that if you are using a Bitcoin, that doesn't mean that there are very high chances of fraud. There are less chances of fraud if you are using a cryptocurrency or blockchain. Global transactions are there. That means cryptocurrencies enable faster and more cost effective international transactions compared to the traditional banking systems. Again, because these transactions are less expensive as compared to our traditional banking system transactions, so that is why they have more acceptability, they have more acceptability in the world. Now, it's essential to note that the adoption of cryptocurrencies in e-commerce is still evolving, and it will take some time, and there are obviously regulatory considerations in every country. So as well as technological challenges are there, regulatory challenges are there, it may impact the widespread of users. That is why the acceptability of cryptocurrency is in many countries is not evolved yet. It will take time to accept the cryptocurrency and blockchain in different countries. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video.